Money is a game. Yes, a game. And like every game, there are rules. Some people are handed those rules early, others quietly learn them by watching, failing, and adjusting. But most people, they are thrown into the game blind. They are told to work hard to be good, to do what they are told, and then they wonder why they keep losing. You may think you are doing everything right. You wake up, go to work, collect your paycheck, try to save a little, try not to spend too much, and yet somehow you are always behind. The month feels longer than your money. The dreams you hold in your heart stay locked in someday. You look around and see people no smarter than you, no more deserving than you, moving ahead, buying time, buying freedom while you are stuck trading hours for survival. Why? Not because you are stupid, not because you are lazy. You stay broke because you are playing a game without understanding the strategy. Imagine sitting down at a chessboard with a grandmaster and not even knowing how the pieces move. You might be talented, you might be determined, you might be willing to sit there all night, but you are still going to lose again and again because you don't know the rules that matter. Money works the same way. The rich are not playing a different game. They are just playing it with different knowledge. They understand principles that nobody ever bothered to teach you in school. They understand how power works, how people behave, how fear and desire shape decisions. They are not always kinder. They are not necessarily better, but they are more strategic. Hundreds of years ago, a man named Machiavelli wrote about power control and survival. People called his ideas cold, cruel, and ruthless. But beneath the harshness, there was something else: honesty. He did not describe the world the way we wish it was. He described the world the way it actually is. If you have ever wondered why you stay stuck while others rise higher and higher, then this is your invitation to look at money through a different lens. Not as paper, not as coins, but as power, freedom, and protection. As something you can learn to control instead of something that controls you. And as you listen, remember this: you are not here by accident. If something in you is tired of being a pawn, if something in you wants to understand the real rules, stay with me. And if you want more lessons like this, lessons that sharpen your English and your mindset at the same time, make sure you subscribe to English Achieve right now and turn on the notifications. This might be the turning point you've been waiting for. Chapter 1. Why you stay broke. Let's be brutally honest. You do not stay broke because you lack intelligence. You do not stay broke because you are lazy. You stay broke because you were trained to play the wrong game. From childhood, most of us were given the same script: work hard in school, get good grades, find a safe job, stay loyal, and everything will work out. Sounds comforting. Sounds responsible. But look around you. Is that how it actually works? That story is not reality. It is a program, and you did not write it. The rules of this program were created by people who already had money, power, and control. Their goal was never to make you free. Their goal was to make you useful. You are told to work for a salary. It sounds stable, but think about what it really means. Someone else decides how much your hour is worth. They decide whether your time is valued at $10 or $100. They decide when you start, when you stop, and when you are allowed to rest. You can pour your energy, your creativity, your life into that job. But the final decision about your income is not in your hands. You are told to save your money in the bank because it is safe. But while your money sits there, the value of it slowly melts away through inflation. Prices rise. Your money buys less. The bank, meanwhile, takes those same dollars and uses them to lend, invest, and multiply. They earn. You lose power. You are told to buy things you cannot truly afford so that you can look successful. When your wallet is too thin for that lifestyle, credit cards happily step in. Month after month, you send them interest feeding their profits while your future shrinks. You get the short burst of pleasure. They get the long-term reward. Do you see the pattern? The system is not designed for you to win. It is designed for you to keep playing as a reliable, obedient, exhausted player at the bottom. Machiavelli wrote that humans are driven by two forces, fear and desire. The rich and powerful understand this perfectly. They know you fear being broke, so they sell you the illusion of stability. Just keep this safe job and don't ask questions. They know you desire comfort and status, so they offer you new phones, new cars, new distractions. They promise confidence in a box, happiness in a bag, self-worth in a logo. For a moment, it feels good. But each purchase takes a little more of your freedom, a little more of your future. You are not broke because fate hates you. You are not broke because that's just how life is. You are broke because you are being played in a game where the odds are quietly stacked against you and nobody ever taught you how to flip the script. Here is the good news. The game can be learned. The rules can be studied. Strategy can be built. You can stop being the person who always reacts and becomes the person who intentionally decides. But before anything changes on the outside, something has to change inside you. You must accept one powerful truth. Money is not about working harder. Money is about working smarter, thinking sharper, and playing a different game. Chapter 2. The Machiavellian Mindset. Machiavelli lived in a world of wars, betrayals, and constant danger. He watched leaders rise and fall. He saw how power was taken, how it was kept, and how it was lost. In his book, The Prince, he did not write a fairy tale. He wrote a manual for survival in a brutal world. Many people call his ideas dark or evil because he described manipulation, deception, and control. But if you read deeper, you see something important. He was not creating the cruelty. He was exposing it. He did not talk about the world as we wish it would be fair, kind, and balanced. He talked about the world as it actually is unfair, competitive, and often unforgiving. That perspective is uncomfortable, but it is exactly why his ideas are useful when we talk about money. If you want to stop being broke, you must stop living in fantasy. You must stop believing that life will eventually reward you just because you are good, honest, and hardworking. That is not how the game works. People act out of self-interest. They protect their advantage. They defend their comfort. They will use you if you let them. Machiavelli saw this 500 years ago. Nothing has changed. So how do you use this in your financial life? First, you must see money differently. Money is not just paper or numbers on a screen. Money is a tool. It can buy food and shelter, yes, but it also buys time options and independence. It is both a weapon and a shield. With money, you can walk away from abuse. Without money, you are forced to tolerate it. With money, you can say no to what drains you and yes to what matters. Without it, you're pushed into choices you hate. Second, you must learn to see people differently. In the money game, everyone is a player. Some play to win. Some play just to survive. Some play to control everyone around them. If you don't recognize this, you become part of someone else's plan. Watch what people do, not what they say. Promises are cheap. Patterns are expensive. Notice who respects your time, who respects your boundaries, who respects value. Notice who only shows up when they need something. When you start to observe this way, you stop being shocked when people act out of their own interest. You start expecting it and planning around it. Third, you must see opportunity where others only see chaos. When the world shakes, most people panic. They cling to comfort. They freeze. But the Machiavellian mindset looks again. Crises can create openings. Changes in technology, economy, or society Destroy some paths, but unlock others. The rich understand this. They listen when others are screaming. They look for the door inside the disaster. Now understand this: clearly adopting a Machiavellian mindset does not mean becoming cruel, dishonest, or cold. It does not mean stepping on others just to stand taller. It means refusing to be naive. It means learning to think strategically, not emotionally, about money and power. It means understanding the game so that you can play it ethically but effectively. When you shift your mind this way, you step out of the role of a powerless worker and step into the role of a conscious player. That is the first real step toward winning the money game. And if these ideas are opening your eyes, pause for a second. Make sure you hit like on this video, subscribe to English Achieve, and share this with someone who needs to wake up to the real rules of money. When you grow, don't grow alone. Chapter 3, Principle 1, Control the Flow of Money. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must control his territory or he will lose it. In your life, your territory is your money. If you do not control your money, someone else will, and they already do. Think about your income. The moment your paycheck arrives, it begins to disappear. Rent bills, food, transportation subscriptions, little treats to reward yourself for surviving the week. For many people, the money is gone within days. Then comes the familiar feeling waiting for the next paycheck, like a thirsty person waiting for rain. The worst part: most people have no idea where their money truly goes. They don't track it. They don't measure it. They feel broke, but can't explain why. They live in reaction. Something comes up, they pay, they stress, they wait. That is not strategy. That is chaos. The rich play differently. They treat money like an army. Every dollar is a soldier. They know where each soldier is stationed, where it is moving, and what mission it is on. They don't let their soldiers wander aimlessly. They don't let them get lost in meaningless battles. When you waste money on things that do not increase your power, impulse shopping gadgets you don't use, nights you won't remember, you are sending your soldiers into battles that cannot be won. You feel good for a moment, but you lose strength for years. But when you send your soldiers into smart battles, they come back with reinforcements. When you invest in learning a valuable skill, that knowledge can earn money for the rest of your life. When you invest in a business or an asset that produces income, those dollars bring more dollars back with them. When you put money into systems that grow while you sleep, you are quietly building an army that fights for you even when you are tired. So why do so many people stay broke? Because their soldiers are leaving faster than they return. They spend more than they earn. They borrow more than they can repay. Their money is constantly working, but for banks, for brands, for landlords, for everyone but them. The rich reverse this. Their money works for them. Their soldiers travel into investments instead of into trash. Their dollars do not sit idle. They move with purpose. If you want to change your life, start here. Control the flow. Know exactly how much is coming in and where it is going. Track your spending without excuses. Cut off the leaks that give you nothing in return. Decide in advance what percentage of your income will go toward assets, skills, and future opportunities. Treat saving and investing not as optional, but as non-negotiable. A bill you owe your future self. When you begin to treat each dollar as a soldier fighting for your freedom, you will stop wasting them on battles that don't matter. You will protect your territory. And over time, you will expand it. Chapter 4. Principle 2. Appear strong even when you are weak. Machiavelli taught that people follow strength, not weakness. A leader who appears uncertain, afraid, or fragile quickly loses respect, even if deep inside they are capable. You might not think this applies to money, but it does more than you realize. How you present yourself financially, the way you talk about money, the way you handle pressure, the decisions you make affects how others treat you. And that treatment shapes your opportunities. Many people accidentally broadcast weakness. They complain loudly about being broke. They joke about their own bad habits as if they were permanent. They panic over every unexpected expense. They beg for discounts in ways that scream desperation. They say yes to anything that offers quick cash, even if it steals their time or insults their value. The world notices. Employers, investors, partners, even friends sense instability. Weakness repels opportunity. When you seem fragile with money, people hesitate to trust you with responsibility. The rich project something different. They may not always have mountains of cash at every moment, but they carry themselves with calm control. They make decisions with intention. They do not panic in front of everyone. They do not advertise their financial wounds to the world. Because they appear strong, people trust them. They get invited into deals. They are offered positions of responsibility. They are asked for advice. They are given a chance to manage more. This is not about pretending to be rich. Machiavelli would never advise wasting money just to look powerful. That is foolishness. True strength is not about showing off. It is about showing control. The key is this: do not show off your money. Show off your discipline. Keep your private situation private. You can be rebuilding from zero. You can be climbing out of debt. You can be starting fresh after a disaster. That is your journey. What others should see is your focus, your boundaries, and your seriousness. Stand tall in conversations about money and opportunity. Speak with clarity. If a deal is not right for you, say no without guilt. If a purchase does not serve your long-term plan, walk away without apology. When you do spend intentionally, not to impress, but to progress. Over time, something powerful happens. People begin to associate your name with stability and self-control. They respect your decisions. They think twice before trying to manipulate you or undervalue you. Appear strong even when you are weak. Eventually, that appearance built on real discipline turns into reality. Chapter 5. Principle 3. Master risk like a prince. Life will never be risk-free. Every choice carries a cost. Every path hides uncertainty. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He observed that fortune favors the bold, those who are willing to act despite uncertainty. Many people think the way to be safe is to avoid risk altogether. They stay in jobs that drain them because at least it's secure. They avoid investing because it might go wrong. They never start the business, never learn the new skill, never take the leap because there is a chance of failure. What they forget is this: avoiding risk is also a risk, a massive one. Parking your money in a low-interest account while inflation grows is a risk. Depending on one employer for your entire livelihood is a risk. Never learning new skills in a changing world. Staying exactly where you are might feel safe, but it silently pushes you toward long-term loss. The rich think differently. They do not worship risk, but they do not fear it either. They respect it. They study it. They use it. They understand that to grow, you must step into uncertainty, but not blindly. They do their research. They seek advice. They analyze potential outcomes. Then, with preparation in place, they move. They know they will not win every time. They expect some failures. But instead of letting those failures break them, they let them teach. Each loss becomes intel. Each mistake becomes data. They adapt, refine, and try again. If you want to stop being broke, you must learn this art. Take calculated risks. Start small. Don't bet your entire life on one move, but do bet something. Invest a portion of your money in learning a skill that can increase your income. Try a small side hustle. Put a small planned amount into an investment you've studied. Learn how risk feels. Learn how it works. Learn to manage your emotions when things go up and down. The more wisely you take risks, the more your confidence grows. The more your confidence grows, the more prepared you are for bigger opportunities. Wealth is not built by waiting for perfect conditions. There will always be uncertainty, always be doubt, always be something unknown. Money flows to those who are willing to step forward anyway, with preparation, with courage, with strategy. Fortune favors the bold, but only the bold who are willing to learn. Chapter 6. Principle 4. Control debt before debt controls you. Machiavelli warned rulers not to rely too heavily on others for survival. Dependence is weakness. In the modern world, one of the most dangerous forms of dependence is uncontrolled debt. Debt itself is not evil. It is a tool. In the hands of the wise, it can build empires. In the hands of the unprepared, it becomes a chain. Many people fall into this trap without fully understanding it. Credit cards feel like free money. Loans feel like a shortcut to comfort. Mortgages, car payments, buy now, pay later plans, they all promise an easier life now in exchange for a little pressure later. But later always comes. And when it arrives, it demands payment with interest. People borrow to look rich. They borrow to post a nicer lifestyle on social media. They borrow to escape stress with vacations they cannot truly afford. They borrow to own things that lose value the moment they are bought. Every month, interest silently grows. Every month, more of their paycheck goes not toward the future, but toward the past. This is how people become prisoners. They are not working to build a better life. They are working to pay for old decisions. The rich treat debt differently. They use it with intention. They borrow to acquire assets that generate more money than the debt costs. They might borrow to start a business with strong potential. They might borrow to buy property that produces income or appreciates in value. They might borrow to take an opportunity that has a clear path to return. The key difference is purpose. Borrowing to impress is poison. Borrowing to progress can be powerful. To play the money game well, you must become ruthless with debt. Ask yourself one simple question before you borrow. Will this debt help me build wealth? Or does it just help me look wealthy? If the answer is, look wealthy, walk away. Avoid using debt to escape boredom, loneliness, or insecurity. Those emotions cannot be cured by shopping. They can only be numbed, and the price of that numbness is your freedom. If you already have debt, do not drown in shame. Shame keeps you stuck. Strategy sets you free. List every debt, every interest rate, every minimum payment. Build a plan. Attack the most dangerous ones first, the ones with the highest interest. Cut unnecessary spending and feed that money into your repayment plan. Negotiate when possible. Stay consistent. The day you control debt instead of debt controlling you is the day you gain back one of your greatest powers. Choice. Chapter 7. Principle 5. Build alliances. Machiavelli wrote that even the strongest ruler cannot survive alone. Allies are not optional, they are essential. The same is true with money. Some people are proud of doing everything by themselves. It sounds heroic, I don't need anyone. But in reality, that attitude often hides fear, mistrust, or ego, and it comes with a cost limitation. One person has only 24 hours in a day. One person has a limited set of skills, knowledge, and connections. Alone, you can work hard. Together, you can work smart. The rich understand this. They are not afraid to learn from others. They are not ashamed to say, I don't know, teach me. They actively seek mentors who have already walked the path they want to travel. They listen, they ask, they apply. They form partnerships where each person brings something strong to the table: capital, skills, ideas, access, reputation. They join communities where money, opportunities, and knowledge circulate. They collaborate instead of constantly competing. Think about the success stories you admire. Very few of them were built alone. Behind every impressive brand, every powerful investor, every influential leader, there is a web of relationships. If you want to rise, you must be intentional about who surrounds you. Find people who think bigger than your current circle, people who talk about ideas, strategies, and plans, not just gossip, complaints, and distractions. Connect with those who want to build, not just consume. This doesn't mean using people, it means creating mutual value. Share what you know. Help where you can. Show up with integrity so that when you need help, you are worth helping. Building alliances does not make you weak. It multiplies your strength. It gives you access to opportunities you could never create alone. It gives you perspective when your own vision feels small. Your network is not just a list of contacts. It is a living system that can either pull you down or lift you up. Choose carefully. And if you want to be part of a community that is learning English and leveling up their mindset at the same time, stay with English Achieve. Hit subscribe, leave a comment about what you're working on financially, and let this be the place where you sharpen your language and your life together. Chapter 8. Principle 6, Fear or Love. What really works with money? One of Machiavelli's most famous questions was this: is it better to be feared or loved? His answer was uncomfortable. If you cannot be both, it is safer to be feared. When it comes to money, this idea translates into one crucial word: respect. If people love you for your generosity but do not respect your boundaries, they will take advantage of you. They will expect you to say yes even when it hurts you. They will pressure you into bad decisions, knowing you are too soft to say no. If people fear you in the sense Machiavelli meant not terror, but deep respect for your standards, they hesitate before wasting your time. They think twice before offering you a bad deal. They understand that you cannot be pushed around. In money, kindness without boundaries is dangerous. People might praise your heart while taking your resources. Respect, however, protects you. When you say no to unnecessary spending, some people may laugh. They might tease you for being too serious. But as they watch you stay consistent, something shifts. They realize you are not driven by impulse. You are driven by intention. When you refuse shady deals, lottery-style schemes, or investments you don't understand, some may call you afraid. But in time, they see the difference between fear and discipline. They see that you are not easily manipulated. Love without respect leaves you exposed. Respect, even a little fear of wasting your time or testing your boundaries, keeps you safe. If you want to stop being broke, you must demand respect through your habits. Stop apologizing for saying no. Stop explaining yourself to people who have no stake in your future. Stop allowing others to spend your money for you emotionally or directly. Let people know through action that your time and your money are not toys. Let them see that your kindness has structure, your generosity has limits, and your decisions have reasons. When your financial discipline commands respect, you attract better partners, better offers, and better treatment. That respect becomes a quiet, invisible shield around your wealth. Chapter 9. The Psychology of Winning the Game. At the core of everything Machiavelli wrote is one idea: if you understand human psychology, you understand power. The same is true for money. If you do not understand your own mind and the minds of others, you will keep repeating the same patterns. There is a mindset that keeps people broke. It is not always loud, but it is persistent. It says, "I can't afford it," and stops there. It treats money like something that happens to you, not something you can shape. It believes that the only way to earn more is to work more hours. It focuses on temporary comfort over long-term strength. It says yes to small pleasures and no to big opportunities because opportunities feel scary. This mindset is reactive. It waits, It hopes, it complains, it blames. The rich mindset asks a different question. How can I afford it? Not as wishful thinking, but as a challenge to the brain. It looks for options instead of walls. It asks, what skill can I learn? Who could I collaborate with? What value can I create that people would pay for? It does not idolize hard work. It optimizes it. It looks for leverage ways to have one action produce many results. It focuses not just on income, but on assets that produce income without constant effort. It understands that emotions drive money decisions, so it learns to manage those emotions. It recognizes fear, greed, jealousy, and impatience. It learns to act from clarity, not from impulse. Your money will never rise higher than your mindset. You can win the lottery and lose it all if your mind is still trained to be broke. You can start from almost nothing and build something huge if your mind learns to think strategically. Every time you choose to invest in learning instead of only entertainment, you are training your mind. Every time you choose to pause before spending, you are strengthening your inner discipline. Every time you choose to study deals, patterns, and opportunities instead of scrolling mindlessly, you are sharpening your strategy. Winning the money game is not about being lucky. It is about being intentional. It is about understanding what drives you and what drives others, and then using that knowledge ethically to create better decisions. Your mind is your greatest asset, not your job, not your bank account. Your mind, what you feed it, what you believe, what you practice. That is why here at English Achieve, we don't just teach English. We teach a way of thinking, a way of speaking to yourself that is stronger, clearer, and more powerful. If you are still listening, it means something in you is ready for that. So don't just consume this content passively. Subscribe, like, and let this channel be part of your daily training. Final words: learn the rules. Win the game. My friend, remember, this money is a game. If you stay broke, it is not because you are not smart enough, not good enough, or not hardworking enough. You stay broke because you were never taught the rules, and because the people who wrote the old rules never intended for you to win. The real rules are not about luck. They are not about being born into the right family. They are about mindset, strategy, and courage. Control your money the way a ruler controls his land. Every dollar is a soldier. Every choice is a battle. Don't send your soldiers into meaningless wars for short-term pleasure. Send them into battles that build your future. Appear strong even when you are rebuilding from the bottom. Let your discipline speak louder than your circumstances. Master risk. Don't worship safety so much that you sacrifice growth. Control debt so it becomes a tool in your hand, not a chain around your neck. Build alliances. Surround yourself with people who want to grow, not people who want to stay numb. Demand respect through your habits. Let others see that your time, your energy, and your money are precious and protected. Above all, work on your mind, because every financial decision you make begins there. You do not have to stay a pawn. You can become a player who understands the board, who reads the patterns, who moves with intention. When you do, money stops being a constant source of fear and becomes a tool for freedom. Freedom to choose how you spend your days. Freedom to take care of the people you love. Freedom to say no when something violates your values. Freedom to build a life that feels like yours, not a life that was programmed for you. If this message resonated with you, don't let it fade when the video ends. Take a breath and decide what is one rule you will start applying today. Controlling your spending. Learning about investing. Saying no to pointless debt, whatever it is, write it down, commit to it, and start. And if you want a place where you can grow your English and your mindset together, hit subscribe to English Achieve. Tap, like, and share this with one person you never want to see stuck or broke again. Tell us in the comments which principle hit you the hardest. Your words might be the reason someone else wakes up. The game is already in motion. The pieces are already moving. The question is not whether you are playing. You are. The real question is, are you playing with your eyes closed? Or are you finally ready to learn the rules and win?